What's going on, guys? Dan here. I run a 7-figure agency here, and I am showing you today exactly how I helped one of our clinics recently actually find a $100,000 hole in the business and has huge potential for upside. So I'm going to show you exactly how we did that with them, breaking down all of their numbers with one of our clients. So with that said, we're just going to dive right on into it. So exactly what it says, how we helped one client find and add $100,000 to his business with no new people. So what does that actually look like? Well, we have 220 cancels. This is over the month of September, October, and November. We have 220 cancels. We have 112 no-shows. So that equals out to 342 missed appointments. Now, what we know is per appointment on average, he makes about $165 per appointment. So what does that mean? On average, he is missing out right now, currently between those 3 months, 342 times 165. He missed out on about $56,000. We divide it by 3. Per month, he's missing out on about $18,810. $18,810. Now, I'm sorry, that was average visits per month missed. Let's put that right here. 18,810. He's missing over the course of 3 months. 342 divided by 3 is 114 missed visits on average per month. Now, what does this actually mean? Over the course of 1 year, he is actually missing out on average $225,720. So over the course of a year, he is missing out on $225,720. Now, the reason why that is so important, frankly, is because if all he did was focus his efforts over the course of next 30 days, maybe a couple hours a week, maybe 1 hour a week, he can legitimately add $225,000 to his bottom line. Now, he could if everyone showed up. At the end of the day, not everyone shows up, unfortunately. So with that said, what does it actually look like? Well, very simply put, let's say we were able to get that number to half of that. Let's say instead of getting $225,720 in people, which by the way, he has about a 20% no-show rate between cancels and no-shows, so that's massive. What if we were able to get that down to 10%, so just half it? He can add an additional basically $113,000 into his business at a 10% no-show/cancel rate. That equals an additional 113 grand into his business. Just by focusing on that one specific thing, he can add $113,000 to his bottom line. The reason why it goes automatically to his bottom line is because that is, at the end of the day, there's no extra people, right? He's not hiring anyone new. These are people who are already on his calendar expecting to be seen. So since they were already on the calendar expecting to be seen, he doesn't need to add in any additional resources. Now, what should we do about this, right? The next question comes down to, now that we see we have a $113,000 hole in our business, how are we actually going to go about fixing this? The very first question is, what are we doing at the front desk? How is the appointment being set? What are we saying? Right? All of those little things add up. So you should be asking your front desk, what are we saying? What are we doing? How is the appointment being set? So if you're not a medical clinic and you're a different type of service-based business, how is the appointment being set? What is being said over the phone? What does it sound like, right? So the first thing is, how is the appointment being set? How are we tying down people to commit, right? So once again, that comes down to how's the appointment being set. But maybe we realize people show up to their first 3 appointments and then they don't show up to the next one. So why aren't people coming back? right? Maybe it's a downstream issue, right? Maybe it's not so much, or upstream issue. Maybe it's not the appointment being set. Maybe it's the next thing in line. After they come in for a consultation or after you talk to somebody over the phone or via Zoom, what happens next? Are they showing up to that second, third, fourth, fifth appointment, or are they dropping off after the first one or two, right? So asking yourself those questions are very crucial to coming up with this type of answer. So figuring that out is huge. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because a lot of times people don't sit down and review their numbers. And they don't realize that they have a $100,000, $200,000 hole in the business. And sometimes we're just trying to compensate with more new customers, more new customers, more new customers. When really, if we're trying to add $100,000 to our business over the next 12 months, we might already have all the customers we need in order to get there, right? And we're missing them somewhere on the pendulum that we need to get to. So that's why this is super important to realize, oh shoot, maybe I have everybody and I just have a huge no-show rate that I don't know how to solve, right? And maybe that's what you should be focusing your efforts on. Because if you get people into your system, into the rat race of your business, and then all of a sudden they just keep dropping off, you're in your own hamster wheel just going more new customers, right? When you already have enough sometimes. So it's realizing, do you need more new customers or do you have enough and you have a different hole that needs to be plugged, right? Right now in this leaky bucket, one of the biggest holes he can plug is getting that no-show rate down from 20% to only 10%. And he will ultimately add $113,000 onto his business. So it's looking at those little cues inside of your business that can help add in more people, that can add the same amount of people, but add in more revenue into the business itself. So once you figure out, all right, we have this hole, we realize there's a hole in the business, it's sitting down and then saying, what do we need to do to fix it? Maybe it's diving a little bit deeper. Those people who are not showing up, is it because they're not showing up after their first, second, third appointment, or are they not showing up just from day one, right? So then you got to figure out exactly one of those two. And the easiest way to do that is you just take everyone who's canceling or not showing up, you divide that out and see how many appointments on average those people are coming to, right? And then you can figure it out from there. So this is huge, and a lot of times most business owners don't take the time to sit down and look at their business and look at how much is it costing me to not get someone through these doors? How much is it costing you, right? So is it worth you to spend, maybe it is, you need another front desk person or you need another appointment setter on the phones, whatever it is it worth you to spend 40, 50 grand to make 113, ultimately doubling your business? Or can you use your current people that you have, train them a little bit more, and get that 113 grand into the business? Those are two different questions at the end of the day, depending on what the business looks like. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked today's content. We're going to have more of this type of stuff coming out. Hit the subscribe button in here, and let's grow our businesses here going into the 2023 season. Let's get it.